So Beta 3 is one of the 9 large buildings that were used to house the Caiyutron. The Caiyutrons were located in the high bay. So these are the Caiyutrons. Let me show you a little closer view. And notice the red line. That was to tell you if you had any metal in your pocket, you shouldn't get any closer than that because it might pull you right up against those large magnets. Remember, it's a batch process, so you've got one here, and the material goes into the bottom and comes out at the top. Now, it was one large racetrack of 36 Caiyutrons during the Manhattan Project when they were separating uranium. But then after the war, when they started separating those stable isotopes, they didn't need all of that large racetrack. They needed smaller ones. So they put in shunts here. So now they have 4 smaller racetracks that they can use to separate different elements in each of the racetracks. And they did that until 1998, separating all of the elements in the periodic table here at these Caiyutrons. The Caiyutrons were used during the war to separate the uranium for little boy. But after the war, they would separate all of the elements in the periodic table. Some of them they would send over to the graphite reactor and make them radioactive, and something that started being separated in the Caiyutron through another process would eventually produce cardiac scan medical isotopes. So the exact same science, the exact same equipment that produced the uranium for little boy also produced these isotopes, stable isotopes, that were used as targets to produce nuclear medicine. So let me demonstrate how these Caiyutron works. If you look here, the first thing you have is you heat up that material that's in the charge box, and then it's attracted out between those 2 magnets. And the magnets cause it to bend, and you get that arc that causes the material to separate by its mass and go into the collector up at the top. This is the control room where the young girls would have operated those Caiyutrons. Actually, this one right here is Gladys Owens, and this is her picture when she came back later. She worked here from January till December of 1945, sitting on these stools, operating these cubicles, and separating that uranium. Now let's walk right down here. And remember, they were adjusting these knobs and watching these meters on each of these, one of the Caiyutron girls at each location.
What was the stick used for?
The stick, thank you, that's a good question. This is a grounding rod for when the maintenance people had to go in there and work on it. They'd go in and short out the high voltage capacitors before they actually went in and worked. So let me show you this plaque that was awarded to this building in recognition of its historical significance. The American Nuclear Society awarded it as a Nuclear Historic Landmark in November of 2002.